At 32, Cowboys on the 1. Javonte Williams, running back 1. Yeah, he looks the part. Plows in, and Dallas 7-0. Philadelphia would respond in the same fashion. Right down the field, it's 3rd and goal. Coverage does its job, but Hurts has a wide open lane into the end zone. Fly, Eagles fly at 7-7. Under 2 to go after another Williams touchdown for Dallas, and a field goal has them up 3. A deep shot on 3rd and 6. Jahan Dotson, a perfect throw and a big-time grab. First down, and Saquon Barkley picking up where he left off. Didn't have a monster night on the ground, just 60 yards rushing, but that touchdown, and it's 21-20 as Dallas added a late field goal. Third quarter, Dallas trailing by 4. Miles Sanders had a big run, gets down close, and the ball is out. Jahad Campbell, the rookie from Bama, knocks it out. Quinyon Mitchell scoops it up. Actually, a tremendous tackle from Prescott, because that's 6 the other way if Dak doesn't make this shoestring tackle right there. It's a hell of a celebration from the defense. They go tush push. Then we were concerned that maybe there'd be some thunderstorms making their way through Philly. They did, and play was delayed for just over an hour. So 11:30 Eastern, they come back out, and really the offense is kind of bogged down, or the defense is picked up. Here, it's a matter of a drop coming after this conversion to George Pickens on 3rd and 5, and Dak here delivers, and that hits CD right in the hands, and he cannot secure it. Lamb had some big drops in this game. Can't throw it any better than that one. 2 minutes left. Dallas gets the ball back. It's 4th and 3. They take a shot. It's got to be perfect. CD lays out. It would have been a very difficult catch. But again, Prescott puts it where his guy could make a play. Lamb unable to do so. And Philadelphia needs to get a first down after the 4th down chance for Dallas comes up short. And who else but Hurts? That actually meant he was the leading rusher on the night. 62 yards to Saquon's 60. Afterward, Jalen Carter, who didn't get to play in the game, explains what happened before it really got started.
I heard the room might be suspended. So, are you worried you might be suspended?
I get, that text or that call and by that conversation, then we'll handle it as then.
Jalen, when it happened, were you like in a fit of rage, or what was your?
No, I was calm. I walked off the field calmly. I was not mad. That's pretty much. I couldn't really do nothing else. The ref decision is the ref decision on the situation.
You said you weren't provoked. Did Dak say anything, or was there anything that just made you walk over there?
I don't know. When things started to come out and you started seeing things, then we can go off that. But I don't got nothing to say about it. I'm just trying to make sure the team's straight.
Yeah, I probably spit 1,000 times throughout the game. Especially game day, maybe even in general, and something I guess I'm not proud of. But in that case, he was trolling, I guess you could say, trying to mess with Tyler Booker. I was just looking at him. I was right here by the 2 linemen, and guess I needed to spit, and I wasn't going to spit on my lineman, and I just spit ahead. But I would say he was back there where Jory was in that sense, and he asked, or he goes, "You trying to spit on me?" And at that point, I felt like he was insulting me. I wouldn't spit on somebody. I'm damn sure not trying to spit on you. We're about to play a game. I'm wondering why you're trying to mess with the rookie. And so when I stepped through, I actually say the words like, "What the hell would I? Excuse me, but I'm probably even more colorful. What would I need to spit on you for?" And he just spit on me in that moment, and it was more of a surprise than anything. Refs obviously saw it through the flag. I was like, hell yeah, we get 15 yards to start the game off. Didn't realize he was getting ejected. Unfortunate that he did. Hell of a player. Changed our plan and our blocking scheme, as I've told you all right before the week, that we're going to protect against him. So helped in that manner. But I don't wish for anybody to get out of the game. I'm sure he probably regrets that to some extent. I'm pretty sure he knows I didn't try to spit on him or wasn't even aiming to spit on him. So something that's probably going to get a lot of coverage and a lot of attention that I feel sorry for him in the sense of, I know how excited each and every one of us are, right, to kick off the season and the season opener, and hell of a player like that doesn't even get a chance in the first play. Unfortunate circumstances.
Damian Woody is here with us and is going to be with us every Thursday. I mean, it's just absurd. What's the line from the film? I spit in your general direction. That's all fun and games. But Carter gets ejected here, and that's how this whole game begins. And he's one of the most disruptive presences in the National Football League. You just heard Dak say it changed the way they approached this game. Dallas moved up and down the field at will. If they lose this game, everyone's going to point to Carter and say, man, how does that happen? They win, but I still ask, how does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's one of the most disrespectful things you could do to any person is spit at somebody like that. And I think if you're Jalen Carter, man, you gotta have more restraint in that situation. Because, Scotty, the one thing I've seen a lot of football, they always catch the second person. And I'm not saying Dak Prescott did anything wrong, but when you retaliate, they always catch you, and this is the result of that.
And he has to know his value relative to responding to what happened. I mean, look, this is a buttoned-up organization that's coming off winning a title, and this is a young man that he's a vet, but he's too much of a veteran to not know that he can't do that. I guess is what I'm trying to say, but I'm saying poorly.
Yeah.
How do you handle that internally?
Yeah, I mean, that's what leadership is for within the organization. I'm sure, Nick Sirianni will have a conversation and some of the veteran leadership within the locker room, but you just got to have that conversation. You got to move on to the next opponent. But again, instead of talking about the game, this is what we're leading off with right now.
Well, because we've just heard them describe what happened. But then the game happens. And look, Dallas is going to look at this game tape, and they're going to see a fumble going in to take the lead. And CD is going to look at not one, not two, 3 drops.
Yeah.
And they were fantastic throws from Dak. The last 4th and 3 undoubtedly would have been a difficult grab. But how much does Dallas look back in the game, and specifically CD, and think, this is one we could have had?
They had it. It was there to be had. But it's always a handful of plays within the game.
No doubt.
That usually determine the outcome of the game. And so if you're Dallas, and even, Brian Schottenheimer he had talked about in this press conference that, there's no more victories, on the road. Obviously, tough environment, but that's the difference between winning and losing in the National Football League is those handful of plays.
As it was, still 7 grabs for 110 yards for Lamb. But again, each of those drops was significant. And afterwards, Lamb had this to say about the costly drops.
Honestly, I feel like, I can't point no fingers at nobody else, you know what I'm saying? And I take full accountability and everything else that come with it. Because, as for me as a player, I pray for moments like that, you know what I'm saying, and the ball to come my way. And obviously for me to not come up with it, bro, it stings a little bit. But I will tell you, if you think I'm not coming back any times harder than this, you got another thing coming.
An odd game in many respects. It begins with the incident with Carter. Both teams' offenses are absolutely cooking. The weather delay, and then really kind of things bogged down. The overarching assessment of what Philadelphia showed you tonight on a night where they hang a banner, what'd you see from them?
Obviously, first half, Jalen Hurts utilizing his legs. Dallas Cowboys, I thought defensively, they weren't very disciplined. They wasn't containing the quarterback run, missed tackles. Those type of things usually happen earlier in the season. But I think the biggest thing what you saw for both Philadelphia and Dallas, adjustments. You saw adjustments, and I think both teams played well in the second half.
Jalen's going to join us here in a bit. We will have some more conversation coming in a little bit later in the program about some of the games coming up this weekend. We're very interested to see. As for Philadelphia, they have now won 8 consecutive games at home against the...
What's up, Vikings Nation? Victor here. And today we've got some breaking drama coming straight out of Dallas. And let me tell you, this one could have major implications for the Minnesota Vikings. So here's what went down. The Cowboys dropped their season opener against the Eagles, 24-20. It was a tough, physical NFC East matchup, but all the heat after the game didn't go toward Dak, didn't go toward the defense. Nope. It landed right on the shoulders of CD Lamb. Now, Lamb actually had a solid stat line. 7 catches, 110 yards. But here's the killer. He had 4 drops, and 3 of those came in the fourth quarter when Dallas was driving with a chance to steal the win. The biggest one? A 4th down drop on a short crossing route that would have moved the chains. Instead, the ball hits the turf. Game over. Eagles win. Cowboys fans absolutely exploded on social media, calling him Butterhands, saying, "CD, you cost us this game," and flat out blaming him for the loss. Lamb's reaction: After the game, Lamb stood at the podium and took accountability. He said, "I take full responsibility. That was terrible. I've got to be better." But here's where it gets wild. Sources out of Dallas say Lamb was furious after the game, not just because of his performance, but because of how the fans turned on him. He reportedly told the front office that he wants a trade, and right now, Jerry Jones is doing everything he can to calm him down. They've been in meetings trying to convince him to stay, but as of now, Lamb is still heated, and this is a situation to watch. And guess what? According to reports, the Minnesota Vikings have already picked up the phone. Yep, Kwesi and the front office reached out to Dallas to at least hear the asking price. And honestly, it makes perfect sense. With Jordan Addison suspended for the first 3 games, and Justin Jefferson still working back from that hamstring issue in camp, adding a talent like CeeDee Lamb would instantly give J.J. McCarthy the most dangerous receiving core in the NFL. Think about it. Jefferson, Thielen back in the mix, Hawkinson at tight end, and then CeeDee Lamb on the other side. That's not just dangerous, that's unfair. Now, here's the other side of it. CeeDee Lamb is an elite receiver. We're talking about a guy who had over 1,300 yards and 9 touchdowns in 2023. But he's also emotional right now, coming off maybe the most brutal game of his career. So the question is, are the Vikings getting a motivated, fired up CeeDee who's ready to prove everyone wrong? Or are we stepping into drama that could blow up in the locker room? Personally, I think the reward outweighs the risk. He's only 25 years old, he's in his prime, and if Dallas is really listening to offers, Minnesota has to be at the front of the line. I'll be real with you guys, the idea of lining up CeeDee Lamb next to Justin Jefferson is giving me chills. That's 2 top 10 receivers in the same offense, coached by Kevin O'Connell with a young QB who needs reliable targets. That's the kind of move that turns the Vikings from playoff hopefuls into legit Super Bowl contenders. But I want to know what you think, Vikings Nation. Should the Vikings actually go all in and try to trade for CeeDee Lamb? Or do you think this is just Cowboys fans overreacting and Lamb's drama will blow over in a week? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to Report Vikings, because if CeeDee Lamb in purple and gold becomes real, you're gonna want to be here for every single update. Skol Vikings!